Good evening, boils and ghouls. How's it going? It's me, your old pal, the Collector. It's good to see you all again. And guess what? It's finally October. Start carving the pumpkins and hanging out those skeletons. We got some screams to scare up. And of course, it's finally the month that your old pal can reveal what's been keeping him from visiting you over the scarewaves every Friday night. Skullbrain Books is about to release its premiere title, and of course, I'm contractually obligated to present this story for you tonight. Skullbrain does pay the bills and keeps the candles in the crypt lit. So let's just get this over with so we can get back to our regularly scheduled programming, shall we? Tonight's tale of treachery is titled Skullboy and the Leap of Faith. Written by Scott Hewitt and illustrated by Andy Espinosa and Jesse S. Abell, Skullboy and the Leap of Faith is a beautifully illustrated, spooky, motivational children's book like no other. It was written in 2010, and it's been an 11 grueling years to bring this project to life. It's about to go live on Kickstarter to get a large run of the book printed. So why don't you just stop watching now, click the link in the pinned comment below, and sign up for the launch notification, and we can all get out of here and start dragging out the Halloween decorations. No? You're just gonna make me read it? Right then. Boils and ghouls, things that go bump in the night, it is my proud, contractually obligated honor to present to you Skullboy and the Leap of Faith. Shall we begin? Up on a hill, in a bright, sunny place, lives a boy with a body and a skull for a face. Skullboy was his name, a creative young lad with clever ideas, some funny, some sad. All of his life he felt different from others, all of his friends, his father and mother. He made a machine that vacuumed and dusted, but this only made his mother disgusted. It wouldn't turn off and it soon overloaded, and the house became messier once it exploded. While his mother cleaned up, he was the opposite of glad, so he went on to see if he could help out his dad. His dad was out back chopping wood for the fire, and the look on his face said he was soon to expire. Skullboy made a device with an automatic axe that would soon take the strain off his dad's poor old back. The machine went berserk with a mind of its own. It nearly cut his dad's leg right down to the bone. He tried playing sport, but would stumble and fall, and the kids even used his head for a ball. This made Skullboy sad, depressed quite a lot, and he heard in his head a devious, dark spot. Nothing, it whispered. Give up, there's no chance for an ugly young kid on which people won't glance. Is this true? Is this right? Skullboy began pondering. Am I worth nothing? His mind started wandering. What can you do? The dark spot retorted. You're bad at all things, and your face is distorted. Run away with me, I don't mean to depress, but I understand you in times of distress. Enough, shouted Skullboy, I'll make you see. There's a chasm of wealth hiding deep inside me. I just have to find it, and find it I will. I'll find my true self, and the world will stand still. He knew he must leave to find the courage within. He packed up his bag and was set to begin. Saying farewell to friends, bidding family goodbye, he gave one last look and tried not to cry. Skullboy then walked with a large sense of grieving. He wandered alone for 3 days and 4 evenings. He came to a place with grass no longer groomed, to a path through a forest where a deep darkness loomed. Yet all was not still at this place of decision. Something caught his eye at the edge of his vision. At a frightening pace, the thing that he saw coming towards him was a big, scary claw. It picked Skullboy up from once where he stood, but he noticed the claw was in fact made of wood. leaves and not fingers, bark in skin's place. He followed the branch to a sad-looking face. "Stop!" cried the boy that was trapped by a tree. "Put me down and I'll go. I promise I'll flee. I was just on my way to find inner joy, to become so much more than a skull-headed boy." The tree looked him up, the tree looked him down, and with the greatest of care, put him back on the ground. "I see you have traveled through night and through day. If you're seeking yourself, these woods are the way. Once you've passed shadows, past the scream of a wraith, you must gather your courage and take a leap of faith. Stay sharp and stay focused, or soon you'll be lost, for finding yourself will come at great cost. Of all of the people I've sent down this track, they always go forward, but never come back." "Who are you?" Skull asked. "I'm the trembling tree. But this isn't the way that I once used to be. I once was like you, a curious young lad. I discovered these woods, the wish I never had. Too scared to go in, for years here I stood, until one dark day I was a part of this wood. You must though take heed, if you wish to go forward. Find the leap of faith, and the truth in the sword." "Thanks for the tip," Skullboy said to the tree, and set off on his quest with a heart full of glee. Yet cold soon set in on our young hero's plight, though off in the distance he saw glints of light. As he drew closer, he was beginning to tire. He spied 3 strange figures huddled round a fire. He heard them all laughing, they were all having fun. The thing had 3 heads, but the body of 1. Snap went a twig. Skullboy froze and stopped breathing. The thing turned around with eyes that were seething. "Who goes there?" one bellowed. "Over there," said the second. "Don't let him leave." "I'm in trouble," Skull reckoned. "Who are you?" it cried. "Come here, we are starving." They hung him over the fire like a pig for the carving. Skullboy tried pleading with the 3-headed beast. "Please, I'm all bony, I'm no good for a feast." The creature then laughed, and gone was his scorn. "Eat you," it cried. "We're just keeping you warm." Taking him down, they exclaimed, "Take a seat. We've plenty of water and plenty to eat." Dying from hunger, Skullboy started to eat. They all asked him questions as he warmed up his feet. "I'm Skullboy," he said, "and I'm on a quest to find the leap of faith." "Surely you jest. We've seen many a traveler with stick and with sack go down that road, but never come back. We all were like you, on a self-seeking quest. We set off for the leap, but we soon had to rest. I would have kept going. I should have been bold. I could have kept walking, but it just got too cold. So we all built a fire and huddled in tight, and our bodies became one on one treacherous night. We'll rest a bit longer, but we don't plan to stay. When the days become warmer, we'll be on our way." Skullboy stopped and blinked and looked at the 3 and thought to himself, "This place isn't for me." And so Skullboy left, grateful for the food. Behind him he heard, "Woulda, shoulda, coulda, gone too." Then a strange thing occurred. What it was, hard to say. A gap soon appeared between night and tween day. "Is this it?" Skullboy asked. "It's the end of the woods. My journey is over. Now give me the goods." Skullboy then leapt from the night to the day, and a little old lady stood in his way. She stood by a cottage smelling of cookies and bread, and in through the window was a nice comfy bed. "Dearie, you look tired. Come in, settle down. Pass me your things, which I'll keep safe and sound." Skullboy entered the cottage, and what he saw made him sick, for there were shoes piled high, and sacks tied to sticks. No one comes back? He looked at the oven. You eat all the travelers! You're a witch! It's a coven! Turning, he saw the old lady change into gross witchly features, her face rearranged. She came after Skullboy with chains and with shackles, her teeth sharp as knives and an odd evil cackle. She grabbed him, he ducked, swung his stick with a whoosh. He gave the old witch a big hearty push. He raced out the door with the quickest of speed, but the witch followed fast, she was ready to feed. You can't run forever, she screamed and grew slack, for whoever goes forward has never come back. Skullboy ran faster back into night's depth. He ran and he ran, not stopping for breath. Suddenly, cluck! A sign struck him down. Leap of Faith read the sign, which was now on the ground. What Skullboy saw was a wide open chasm, an infinity of black, of which one cannot fathom. Out in the darkness, as thin as the moon, appeared a sly smile and two eyes that consumed. The dark spot returned to end what he'd started. I've missed you, young Skull, although we've not parted. I've been with you always as you've wandered alone. I've been the darkness from when you left home. All you found is a cliff. There's nothing, you see. You came all this way. All you have is just me. Skullboy was tired. He was weary and cold. This journey of his began to get old. I get it. You're right. I give up. I give in. I cannot go on. You might as well win. Skullboy laid down, letting darkness consume, looking back on his journey which he could not resume. No, it's not right. I've had it. I'm through. I faced bullies and witches. I'm not scared of you. I'm not like the tree that stayed in one place. I took a step forward toward a leap of faith. I could have had warmth, food, shelter, and more. Then the three-headed beast would soon become four. I kept marching on, and still wasn't safe. I outsmarted that crony and her scream of a wraith. Now you tell me there's nothing? It's a joke? Just forget it? I know what to do, and I sure won't regret it. Skullboy saw the sign that had previously fell. He noticed the shape was swordly as well. The sword, Skullboy shouted, doing a triple somersault. He now had the sword. The spot came to a halt. Stop! Cried the spot, sounding full of despair. Take this, replied Skullboy, as he slashed through the air. Terror and shock filled the spot's eyes. His mist ripped apart in his timely demise. Without second thought, with vigor and might, Skullboy leapt off the cliff into blinding white light. Down at the bottom, he opened his eyes. The sword he had found, but the truth was still lies. When he looked down, the sword had been broken. What it spelled now is too strange to be spoken. The letters of the sign had been scattered and spread. Now, a path of life is what the sign read. The truth hit him hard. Skullboy let out a laugh, and looking ahead, saw many a path. Paths that went this way, paths that went that, paths that were bumpy and some that were flat. The journey wasn't over, it was about to begin, and Skullboy had found his courage within. No matter who you are, we all have dark spots. If you believe in yourself, you can conquer the lot. If you're fronted with problems, if you're ever in strife, remember, leap of faith spells a path of life. Where did Skullboy go? Well, that's a different track. But he always went forward and never looked back. Well, there you go. Wasn't that inspiring? Now, I'm sure what the writer is trying to portray is that taking a leap of faith is a metaphor, and you shouldn't actually jump off a cliff to solve your problems. Got it? Good. Thanks for joining me and listening to this spooktacular tale. Perhaps now you feel more inclined to help support this project. Again, you can click the link in the pinned comment below to head on over to Kickstarter and sign up for the launch notification. Of course, you can always support the book by sharing it with your friends and family. After all, scarers are carers. And if you'd like to see more of me, your old pal Ghost Host with the most terrifying tales from the here and then, you can follow me on Instagram at oldpalcollector. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon to be notified of my next visit into your nightmares. And now, my dear Fright Followers, until we shriek again, good night out there, whatever you are.